Welcome in. Today, we're diving into an incredibly powerful historical and spiritual narrative straight from our source texts. We're going to unpack a story of monumental power, profound revelation, and ultimately the absolute limits of earthly authority. Let's get right into this explainer of two truly legendary figures, Queen Bilqis, who you might know as the Queen of Sheba, and the mighty prophet Solomon.
Now, you might be wondering what exactly happens when a queen brings a revolutionary truth home to her people, only to hit a massive wall of resistance. And on the flip side, how does an era of absolute, literally unimaginable power, like that of a great king, actually come to a close? Well, our analysis today is going to walk you through this incredible clash between human struggle and divine will.
Section 1. The Queen's Difficult Trial. So, picture this. Queen Bilqis has just left the grand court of Prophet Solomon. She's heading back to her kingdom of Sheba, carrying this revolutionary message of Tawheed, or Monotheism. But coming home didn't mean things just snapped back to normal. Far from it. She brought this deeply peaceful message, but when she introduced the idea of the oneness of God to her courtiers and advisors, well, the source material describes the reaction as basically an absolute earthquake in the palace. And this brilliantly illustrates the tension we're looking at here. On one side, you have her new, profound truth, and on the other, her court reacting with deep confusion and intense anger, fiercely clinging to their old traditions. It was a severely difficult trial for the queen. She had to rely on immense patience and profound wisdom to slowly, carefully persuade her people.
Section 2. The subjugation and labor of the jinn.
Now, while Queen Bilqis was navigating the very human complexities of leadership over in Sheba, a completely different scenario was unfolding in Prophet Solomon's realm. We're talking supernatural scale here. According to the texts, Solomon was granted extraordinary power by divine command, power so absolute that even supernatural beings, the jinn, were completely subjugated to his will. Just think about the sheer unimaginable scale of this. He assigned these incredibly mighty beings to immense construction projects and heavy labor, and they worked day in, day out, toiling away continuously, all because they believed they were constantly under his strict, unyielding supervision.
Section 3. The silent death of Prophet Solomon.
But here's the thing about absolute earthly power. It always reaches its limit. And that brings us to a highly unusual, almost bizarrely suspended moment in time. Prophet Solomon is standing there, overseeing his vast realm, when suddenly his soul is taken. He passes away. But he doesn't fall. He remains perfectly propped up, resting his entire weight on his wooden staff for a really long time. It creates this intense, dramatic irony. Step by step, the king is actually gone, yet the mighty jinn are totally oblivious. They just keep right on working, assuming the king's watchful eye is still right there tracking their every move.
Section 4. The Termite, the Staff, and the Reality.
So, for a while, this grand illusion of Solomon's ongoing earthly rule stays perfectly intact. But the dismantling of all this immense power, it didn't come from an invading army. It wasn't some massive supernatural event. No, it came from something entirely microscopic. The jinn kept working tirelessly until a single tiny termite slowly ate away at the wood of that staff. And when the wood finally gave way, the great prophet Solomon fell to the earth. It was only in that stark, incredibly sudden moment that the truth was actually revealed to the jinn. The great king was no longer in this world. Literally, a microscopic insect brought the entire illusion of endless earthly supervision crashing to the ground.
Section 5. The Great Lesson of Divine Supremacy.
When we pull these two interwoven narratives together, we really uncover a shared, unifying truth right at the heart of the source material. As the text states, everyone is helpless before Allah's power, no matter how strong. And that is absolutely the core takeaway here. Whether we are a queen needing immense patience to guide a skeptical, angry court, or a king with absolute command over towering supernatural beings, all earthly power is ultimately subordinate to a higher divine reality. The narrative impartially shows us that no matter the scale of authority, it's all temporary. It's all entirely dependent on a greater will.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Think about it. If the absolute greatest earthly power, one capable of literally bending supernatural forces to its will, can be completely dismantled by a single tiny termite, well, what does that teach us about our own human limits? These historical narratives, they aren't just ancient stories. They're guiding lights, meant to make us reflect on our own lives, our own illusions of control, and how we wield whatever power we might hold. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.
Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next one.